Hello, we're having a look at the second half of La Donna Immobile, and so we're starting from the double bar here. Just a note here, you can see here we've got what's called the repeat marks, but in the exam you won't do any repeats, but if you're performing in a concert you might like to put the repeat in. Right, so this next section here, we're just going to have a closer look at the music. That first note is on the fourth line up, which is every good boy deserves. That's D. So that's not D by middle C, it's the D an octave higher, okay? So having a little look back, we've got a D, it goes up a step and back a step to two more Ds. Now, a couple of interesting things in here. The first is what's called a dotted rhythm. So that dotted rhythm is where you've got your quaver, which is, I'll give a point at it, there's your quaver, it's got a little dot after it, which makes it a tiny bit longer. And then your next quaver is not actually a quaver, it's a semi-quaver because it's got two little lines underneath. Now the effect of that is instead of just going D-E-D, it goes D-E-D. It's what we call a dotted rhythm. Not to be confused with staccato. Now staccato is marked with dots as well, but that's nothing to do with dot rhythms. That means play the notes in a very detached, spiky way. So this little section here, D-E-D, D, and that top note there is G with your little finger back down to the D. So it's going to look like this. D, E, D, D, G, D. Okay, so that's that phrase. Then moving on to the next line, it's now on the next space up, face, F-A-C-E. So it's an E with your second. So what's going to happen is you're going to move your hand up one position. And then you're going to do a similar pattern to what you just did. E, F, E, E, A with your little finger, back to the E, okay? Then the next phrase, we're now just above the top line. Now the top line is F, every good boy deserves football. That's the next note up, so that's a G, so that's going to be there. And again, you're going to need to move your hand to get the right finger on it. You must have your third finger on there. Over it says RAL, which means slowing down, so you'll hear that when you hear the hands together version. So that goes, so on 3, G, A, G, G, A, and you hold that for 2, then down a note, and then the next bar it says R tempo. Now R tempo means back to the original speed. So after you've had a bit that's slowed down, you have a bit that goes back to the normal speed. And here you've got 3 quavers, which is strange because normally they in here they're coming mainly in pairs, but 3 quavers with 3 written under them, which means you play 3 quavers in the time of 2. Now bear with me, it's not as hard as it sounds, it just sounds like this. Yeah, so you get ya-ta-ta-tum, it's called a triplet, okay? Now the note's an F, and then you'll notice there's a finger number over the D at the end, it's another change of position, and then that takes us down to the last line to a C. Right, so I'm going to play through all this now, and I'm going to just show the camera on my hand as I play. So just going from just after the double line, okay, so you got second finger up on D, so have a little look, I'm going to show you how it goes. 1, 2, 3. D, E, D, D, G, D. Move your hand up. E, F, E, E, A, E. Move your third finger onto a G. G, A, G, G, A, and hold. Walking down. Here's the triplet. And bring your third over. Okay, onto that bit. And I'm just going to leave off. Then we actually no, I'll just mention it. We've got a bit here where it's going. You can see the weird bit going between the hands. I'll just show you that in the hands together version. It's basically going from one hand to the other on G, 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 G. That's to say, look at the hands together version of that if you want to work that out. And then the last little bit goes G, F, G, F, E, D, C. You see there's a little triplet there. I'll show you again down here. So I'd suggest spending a little bit of time just working through that slowly. Do use your music to start you off and just to give you the shapes. So try and work out the first note of each phrase. Be very careful whenever you get a different finger number, that means something is moving position. Make sure you're using the right finger, okay? And as I say, now the next demo will be the left hand part, and then I'll do some hands together ones.